Hi everybody, it's Ross Cook of Ross Cook Balancing. Welcome. Glad you're with me this evening. Let's talk tonight about living and discussing and now acting in value and in intention as you go back into your work week. You've either got a lot coming. I just came off a big family weekend, a lot of events in there, life transition like events, and there were a lot of non-family people around also. So it was also really interesting to watch the people as they went to break away, what they discussed and how the communications flowed. I want to offer this idea. When you are looking and talking to someone, we have a theory at the Center of Balance and Effective Communication that we've been teaching for many, many years. And the theory is that when you're talking to that person, there is a multiplicity of that person. And I don't mean just other personalities and I mean, where do they learn to be who they are? What does their psychological archetype say about them in that given moment? So if I'm talking to someone and imagine 6 or 7 chairs lined up. I'm talking to the person in the first chair. And I think we're having a great conversation. And then the conversation goes sideways or south or it goes great. And there tend to be loops where it kind of turns back into, and we're a little confused by that. And I really advise you to please pay attention to this kind of communication, effective communication, intentional communication. So I'm looking at them and I realize that I'm actually talking to their past. I'm talking to all the people that have influenced them over there. I'm talking to their heroes, the trauma in their life. The doing the best they can in their life. There's 16 archetypes, and when we start dealing with them, it's real easy that 3 of them can't take any criticism at all. So if anybody, even blithely, even by mistake, doesn't honor how that person communicates, you're going to be dealing with one of the stress programs that's hidden in this person's accumulation of chairs throughout their lives. And it's a challenge. It's a real challenge. It's a wonderful opportunity, though, for us to grow our ability. Now, we're talking a little bit about psychological archetypes, and we'll talk about them a little bit more. And it is important to first just get in the game and realize that what am I bringing to the table and what I'm bringing to the table, getting back in response. And it can be simple. It can be innocuous. You don't have to be evil-hearted or dastardly or mean-spirited or any of that stuff in order to not really connect to somebody and listen to them and not support them the way that you would really want to be supported yourself, and you would really, quite frankly, in connection to someone, really want to know. You really want to help them. I mean, we're here together. I mean, we're on this planet. Come on, let's do this together. You have a unique opportunity to help someone, to praise them, to heal them in a way that they understand. So flexibility of learning and flexibility of communication is a big deal. Let me give you a kind of goofy example. You're going to go back to work tomorrow, and or tomorrow evening or something, you're going to have an intention that is a value. Let's call it kindness intention. And I'm going to get into work and I'm going to start going. And I'm going to want to deal with those people. Do you realize there's a whole bunch of people out there that when you tell them they did a great job, you know what they think? You know what they hear in their head and in their heart and in their soul? They hear, "Who are you to judge me?" Well, wait a second. I said a nice thing. But in their subconscious mind, they hear, "Why would you be judging me? That means just today it was nice, but what gives you the authority or the position or the power to think that you can say those things to me?" What? I was trying to say something nice. Okay. Those are the chairs that are sitting there. And if you're going to be an effective communication, an effective learner, a valuable person to your soul and yourself, and therefore radiate wellness out to others out there, you're going to want to know about some of this stuff. You're going to want to be open and really well healed in yourself, so you're not just tromping over other people's deep fears. Another one might be that there are people out there who care nothing, and I mean less than 0, about job titles and rank and position. They just don't care. It's not in their psychological DNA. It's not in their culture. Now, it exists in their shadow self, but we're not going there today. But they absolutely don't have that. You're talking to so when people start saying, oh, yes, we need to get this done, and then you'll have this award, or you'll have this and that, you're talking to an empty stadium. They don't care about that. It really takes profound breathing and listening and skills to sit there and find out, really importantly, what is important to them in this whole process, and how can we do it together, or how can I support them to be the best they can be, and I can only do it from a platform of wellness. It's about honoring their feelings, letting them know that they deserve to be here. There's a lot of archetypes out there. You know, there are people out there who love learning. They loved everything about learning at school, at college, about this and about that. They love the creative process. They love everything in it. And let me ask you a question. If you went back to 10 people you saw in the last 2 weeks and the 10 people you're going to see tomorrow or the next day, and you brought up school or learning, how many of the stories would be positive, and how many of them would come with a, you know, they would come with some kind of, well, I got A's, or a positioning thing, or pretty soon you're talking about high school football, or you're talking about who knows, right? What do we do to honor and support a person where they are? It's really vital and important. It's vital to kind of have a grace, you know, about how you're handling this. There are people out there, last one we'll do today, and then we'll get out. There are people out there that when a task or a job comes up, it's more important to them to have the job created with flair and grace and flow than it is to get the job done. Well, if you're not that psychological archetype and you're there with your dorsal fin up wanting to get a job done, you didn't start out saying, I'm going to go in on Tuesday morning and slay the feelings of half the people I know. You didn't do that, okay? So there's a lot to learn about dealing with the chairs. There's a lot to learn about dealing with the wellness in grace and in flow and in nurture and in flexibility of self in order to help people be the best people they can be around you. And when they are, everything gets better. Gene Achenberg said, healing is embracing what is feared. Healing is opening what is closed. It is softening what is hardened into an obstruction. And I just showed a bunch of examples that might be like, damn, we got to be doing things instead of being well. Because healing is learning to trust life and to trust the goodness and the genuine goodness in yourself and the intentions of yourself that are supported by the core values of your life. Have a great evening. Have a great day. Open to yourself. And tomorrow, tonight, do it slightly differently. Do it open. Realize that you're talking to the chairs and that you can do it weller. You can help. Do it slightly differently. I'm Ross Cook. You can find me at Ross Cook Balancing. And until we talk again, Jomo.